Good day. GE with the word here. I want to read to you from Philippians chapter 1, verses 3 through 5. Paul writes these words to the Philippian church. He said, I thank my God upon every remembrance of you, always in every prayer of mine for you all, making request with joy for your fellowship in the gospel from the first day until now. Paul wrote the epistle to the Philippian church while he was in prison in Rome. He had founded the church, which was the first Christian church in Europe, on his second missionary journey. The church was especially dear to Paul's heart. He loved them, and they loved him, and they seemed to be the church that helped Paul out the most on his journeys. With these things in mind, I want to speak to you today on the subject of hugs, Christian hugs. To do so, I want to share a story with you that I heard many years ago. Now, is the story true? I don't know, and it doesn't make any difference. It's an illustration. The story goes like this. In the fall of a year, late in the year, a young woman, we'll call her Rosie, was traveling alone up what was then the rutted and rugged highway from Alberta to Whitehorse in the Yukon in Canada. Rosie was driving an old rundown two-wheel drive vehicle. The first evening, she found a room in the mountains near a summit and asked for a 5 a.m. wake-up call so she could get an early start. She didn't understand why the clerk looked surprised at that request, but when she woke up the next morning and saw the early morning fog shrouding the mountaintops, she understood. But she didn't want to look foolish, so she got up and she went to breakfast. There were two truckers there, and they invited Rosie to sit down with them. And since the place was small, she obliged. She sat down with them. Where are you headed? One of the truckers asked. Whitehorse, she replied. In that little car? No way. This pass is dangerous in weather like this. And Rosie said, well, I'm determined to try. Then one of the truckers said, well, then I guess we're just going to have to hug you. Now, Rosie drew back. There's no way I'm going to let you touch me, she said. And the truckers kind of laughed. Not like that. What we'll do, we'll put one truck in front of you and one behind. And that way we'll get you through the mountains. And all that foggy morning, Rosie followed the two red dots in front of her and had the reassurance of a big escort behind as they made their way safely through the mountains. My friend, this old world that we live in is dangerous sometimes, and it's full of what might be described as treacherous fogs, things that happen to us. And so we need to be hugged with fellow Christians who know the way and can lead safely ahead of us and with others behind, gently encouraging us along. We too can pass safely through the fogs of this world. I want to read that Philippians chapter 1, verses 3 through 5 one more time. Listen to it carefully. Paul writes to the Philippian church, I thank my God upon every remembrance of you, always in every prayer of mine for you all, making request with joy for your fellowship in the gospel from the first day until now. My friends and brethren, I can say the same words to many of you. Some of you I have known for many years, some for a short time. Some of you have led my way through the fogs of this world, and some of you have been behind me, encouraging, praying, and supplying needs. You have hugged me, and some of you, I pray, I have hugged. Let us each give Christian hugs in a spiritual sense to each other. Now may the Lord lead and guide you this day and in those days to come, and may you be hugged by the brethren around you.